Welcome back. You're still tuned into Trading Hour here on CNBC TV 18, and let's talk about the auto retail sales now. Data from the Federation of Auto Dealers Association shows that total retail sales saw a growth of 16%. This is versus what we saw last year, but the figure is still around 8% lower than the kind of levels that we've seen pre-COVID. So to discuss, we're joined by Manish Raj Singhania, who's president of FADA, and joins us on the show now. Mr. Singhania, thanks a lot for joining us. This is Pavitra. So like I was pointing out, Feb has been quite good. We've seen around a 16% growth, but I mean, you did have the wedding season in February, so that's, I'm sure, something that has aided auto sales. Also, with the predictions of an El Nino, and we don't know how the monsoon will really pan out, how do you think March, April are likely to move?
So March, we are also pretty confident March would do well, because there's a change from OBD1 norms to OBD2 norms coming in. From 1st April, OBD2 norms vehicle would be plying on road and would be built from the customer, from the OEMs. And those vehicles are slightly costlier. We can see a price hike in two-wheelers to the range of 1,000 rupees to 2,000 rupees. And on an average in PV, a price hike of 20,000 rupees. And plus, we have got a lot of festive days in March, especially Navratras. So overall, we see a positive March happening there. Customer would be hugely benefited by buying anything in March, because they would get this OBD1 advantage, and definitely prices will definitely increase from 1st of April. So good time to buy vehicles. So overall, a positive March, that's our expectation, both on two-wheeler as well as passenger vehicle front.
Okay. So pre-buying and a combination of festive season sales will result in a strong March number, both on wholesales and retail, right?
Right.
Okay.
In fact, for two-wheeler industry, it has been pretty good. We could see wholesales lesser than the retail. So there has been a stock correction on two-wheeler with the two-wheeler dealers. So that's also a very positive trend. And you are also talking about the weather part. Definitely, the rural India or Bharat of India is kind of stressed, and we can still see they haven't yet recovered completely from the COVID backlog. And if we don't have a good monsoon, that would further stretch the rural India, and recovery would be a bit slower. We are already anticipating recovery to be pre-COVID to the pre-COVID level in two-wheeler for a span of 1 year. And if monsoons don't pan out good, and rural India is driven by crop and agri-economy, that would further stress the...
But what percentage, sir, do the rural sales today fall short of the pre-COVID level? What's the gap?
Between, you're talking about...
rural sales, say for two-wheelers, which is a fair indicator, fair gauge. By how... yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so overall, rural sales contribute almost 30-40% in the total auto retails. So, and they are on a different stress, and they continue to be on stress.
Okay. You expect a continuous stress as far as the rural space is concerned. What about inventory levels, sir? Because that could be impacted, right? If there is no certainty with respect to the weather forecast or monsoons as well. What is it currently? Is there an expectation, at least from the rural side, that inventory levels will go up?
So right now, since the changeover is there from OBD1 to OBD2, so there would be, OEMs would be finishing off and dealers would be finishing off with the OBD1 norm vehicles, and retails have been responding well overall. So dealers are at a very comfortable level of 30 days approximate across two-wheeler and passenger vehicle stock levels. So that's at a comfortable level, and on top of that, we are expecting a good March. So that would further give a good correction for the stock levels at the dealer end.
All right, got it. So would you also have the breakup of what we've seen in terms of the SUV sales or, the lighter vehicles? Do you have that as well?
Yeah, I don't have the current data exactly what happened in February in terms of breakup, but definitely for PV sales, SUV is driving the market strong and hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Since the supply side situation has eased, has the waiting period come down across the popular models? And if you could share some numbers?
Yeah, so what has happened is, apart from, if you see from till last September, we have been talking about bookings to the tune of 6 to 8 lakhs available with various dealers and OEMs. So that continues. What is interesting is happening while we are addressing the bookings. Dealers are getting the fresh bookings also. So that has kind of maintained the booking level at the dealerships. And the semiconductor crisis has not totally resolved, and we can see stress in especially in high models where the semiconductor requirements are more. So an overall estimated 7 lakh bookings are there across various brands and across various OEMs in dealerships. So that's a very positive sign. And unless and many OEMs are also trying to add capacities.
Okay.
They're trying to increase capacities and ease out semiconductor supply. That will only ensure proper delivery of timely delivery of vehicles to
All
customers.
right.